All right, it's time for part 4, the final part of the walkthrough for the Savage Empire, which I call the Great Drum and the War. This is the shortest part of the entire game. When I left off from part 3, I had just finished uniting the tribes. The last one is the Hakur tribe, so I'm kind of in the middle of nowhere. But the last step is to make a drum on Drum Hill. There have been many different people who have told you that is necessary. There's the leader of the Sakura tribe has told you. Um, Alaron, leader of the Kuroks, told you. There's also a woman named Cherie, who is Ayla's best friend, who will tell you to do it as well. Cherie can be found in a couple different places. The Yalaru village, more often than not, also just south of the Kurok tribe. So it's possible you already ran into her and talked to her. I looked at her at one point but did not speak to her. Um, but you make your way back to the Stone City, and there's a few ways to do it. You can walk all the way out. You can use the teleportation pads. If you ended in the Stone City, then you're already there. But I got to make my way back to the Stone City and then up to Drum Hill, where we can finally start or finish the uniting process. So you work away, for me, west from the Hakur tribe, around these little cliffs until we get to the river and the lakes. I believe should still be this way. Nope, I made it all the way to the road itself. So we're at the road. We head north. We'll get back to the Stone City, and then we'll head up and talk to the guy at Drum Hill to figure out what he needs for a drum. And so, making my way north along the road, should get to the fork pretty soon here. There it is, where the Disqueaquee tribe is off to the west. The Stone City is right here. If you need food, if you want food, you can steal some food from their villagers. I'm just cutting straight through the city. Go to the northeast a little bit until we get to the road. And so just north, we've passed it many times. Just north of the Stone City, we get to that fork in the road that I went down one time, but for the most part, we've ignored. Right about up here, one more little turn. There's the fork. Take the western fork this time, and it will take us to Drum Hill itself. There's a couple of skeletons up here, and there's one guy. This is the former shaman of the Disqueaquee tribe who has lost his mind in the same way that Toparu did. Tumash, what we want from him is a drum. And he likes drums. They're great. Do you want him to make one? Yes. Do you want a small or large? If you ask for a small drum, he will make you a small drum. So you want a large drum. And do you want a large or a really large? You want a really large drum. Do you want the really large or the biggest? You want the biggest. Unfortunately, you have to go through this entire process. You cannot just ask for the biggest drum because it doesn't understand. So he asks, why didn't you say so? In order to make the biggest drum, you have to bring him a hide, and then you can make the drum. He says he wants a particular hide to make it, but if you ask him about it, he thinks you're telling him to hide from something. So you need to bring him a hide, a saber-tooth hide. I believe this game was going to be much bigger, but as I mentioned in part 3, it was kind of rushed. And so all you need is just any old saber-tooth tiger hide. You might already have one on you if you encountered a saber-tooth tiger and skinned it for its meat. If not, you can find them absolutely everywhere. I'm just running up to the Yolaru village because I know there's a few up here. But any saber-tooth tiger hide works. You can get them off the floors. You can get the folded ones. You can kill a tiger and skin it, like I said, um, wherever you need to go to find one. And we're just going to check a couple houses until we find a hide. There's one right there. Get a skin. You now have a folded skin, which is all he needs to make the drum. Work your way back to him. You jerk. That was a totally unnecessary fight. So just right back to the south to get back to Drum Hill. This time, night's not going to matter because what's going to end up happening is we're going to wind up in the Mormodex caves to go kill the queen and actually, you know what? Fine. Kill the queen and destroy the Black Stone. This is the final part of the game. It's not going to take very long to get through because it's very, very easy to do this part now that we've gotten everything else. So we talked to him. Did you bring the hide for the drum? Yes, I did. He throws it over your face, says good enough, lashes it down, and makes the drum. You can make the drum at any point in time. It's just you can't use it until after you have united all of the tribes. Before using the drum, make sure everybody has the equipment you want them to have. If you've got anybody who's sitting with something that they shouldn't have, you want to change things around, now's a good time to do it. Like I can give. Actually, no, I'm just gonna leave it as is. Make sure all your black staffs are equipped. All of your shields are equipped if possible. Um, this is the final fight of the game. When you use the drum, a cutscene happens where you summon all of the tribes. They respond. They're coming back. Everybody in the world is going down into the Mormodex caves with you as their leader to fight off the ant people, and you will immediately start in a small fight. If you're properly equipped, this is nothing. There's just 3 Mormodex. If you're not properly equipped, then that is much worse. But you're now in the Mormodex caves. Do not leave the cave. Do not use the rope that Rafkin is currently standing on. If you do, you will create a game-breaking glitch. Literally breaks the whole thing. It destroys the world above you. It glitches out the scenery. Don't do it. You're here. You're only here for like 5-10 minutes. But don't exit the Mormodex caves. But if you picked up the strange device that Jimmy is currently holding, you see a flashing orange dot on it right here. That is directing you towards the Black Moonstone. As long as you keep moving in a direction towards that dot, and it will move as you move around in the caves, you will get to the Black Stone. The caves themselves are a giant maze. However, there are not too many enemies in it for whatever reason. If you enter the caves before uniting the tribes, it's filled with Mormodex. It's a very difficult fight to get through. But you can beat the game without uniting the tribes just by entering into any of the Mormodex caves. But just work your way through. At the first turn, you have. Oh, I got the wrong thing open. Let me just open my thing real quick. I'll tell you exactly how to get all the way through. I thought I had it open already, but of course I didn't. So you go multiple forks in the road. At the first fork, you go up, not to the right, go up. At the second fork, when we get to it, eventually, it's a long walk after the first one. use your light as needed. Second fork, go up again, and up left immediately. And then the up middle here. That does not feel right, but that's what I said to do. Nope, I went the wrong way. Damn it. Don't go up on that second one, go left on that other one. I knew that felt wrong. So back here, up left here. This is the up left. It takes you to a big room. There is a small fight here, because of course there is. Sometimes you have to angle yourself in a different way to shoot him. Um, from here, you're going up until you get to, I believe, this turn. Yep. So the no, top left turn takes you to another big room where you want to go north. One came up from below. Just straight up the top middle. Use healing as needed. And then left, keep left, north, north. African has no ranged weapons. Oh, no, you don't. Okay. Left again. Keep hugging left. Sometimes the game slows down for no apparent reason. There we go. And up one more time with immediate left and up. I know there's a lot of different directions. Really. I'll use my turn to create some light. When you come up this final up, this north, you will find yourself in a big room. You are going to the northwest in this big room. And when you're here for fun, you'll see one of the Mormondex drones actually has a portrait. You can talk to him. It forces itself to speak in a kind of human tongue, not allowed here, must die, will ask the queen. The queen agrees, kill him. If you talk to him a second time, he actually has a name, Chisel, which is a fun little thing that, like, there is a Mormondex that you can talk to. But because he looks like everybody else, they say he's glossier than the others, but not enough to notice. It's possible to kill him on accident before you've seen him. And then you get the Mormondex Queen. You can also talk to her. She looks at you, human speech, human thing is here, destroy it. Again, if you talk to her, she'll now have a name. Exorl. I know, I pronounced that so well. But As a final game boss, she doesn't move, she doesn't spit acid, she doesn't do anything. She's susceptible to the black staff, and it only takes a couple hits and she's dead. So that is part one of killing it. You still need to destroy the black stone, which is to the north, according to your little device. And honestly, it's the easiest thing to find because you take 5 steps and there it is. And so you can't get it, you can't use it. Looking at it, it's just dark moonstone. So like you've done every other time, just destroy it. Attack it a few times with whatever weapon you want. It blows up, and you get the end credits. So part 4, very short, but it blows up. Everybody celebrates. If you want to see them for yourself, you can read them all yourself. I'm not letting it spoil too much, but after you've beaten the game, Lord British appears and tells you you've done well, but it's time to take you where you're needed most. You're joined by a bunch of people. They all come to follow you out. If you have told Ayla or her adopted sister Trista that you love them, you get a couple of extra scenes on your way out the door. But the biggest thing is Rafkin decides to stay. He wants to study the valley, and the rest of you leave, and you get this last little credit scene. It tells you how long it took you to beat the game. So in this particular instance, for this walkthrough, it took 2 months and 1 day. And if you communicate your success to Lord British, Richard Garriott, in real life, they will congratulate you and they will give you sometimes a certificate of completion. And a lot of people like to compete to see who can be done the fastest. And I hold that record for less than 1 day, but it was never meant to be beaten that quickly, so it just says 1 day in 7.5 minutes. So I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough, all 4 parts. Hope you got through all of them. Grand total, I think we spent 3 hours on the game in the walkthrough, but there's so much more to this game, like talking to different people, finding out the lore, seeing the little secrets that are all around, visiting a city that has been destroyed by the Mormadex and carries 300 bullets and 10 grenades and all these other things there. Like, there's a lot more to this game than this walkthrough takes you through. Please go through, enjoy it, take your time with it. It is one of our favorite games. It's why we decided to do a walkthrough for it. But hopefully you enjoyed this 4-part walkthrough, even though part 4 was very, very short. And thanks for watching.